votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes. This announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration of the persons elected President and Vice President of the United States.
And just like that, President-elect Donald Trump's electoral victory has been certified.
You can see Vice President Harris in her role as President of the Senate, standing there next to the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, overseeing this entire process. Elected officials from the House and the Senate got up one by one and formally read off each state and the electoral votes awarded to either Trump or Harris as decided on Election Day.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of California seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 54 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 54 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Florida seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 30 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 30 votes for vice president.
There were no objections, no lawmakers challenged any of the electoral votes. So once they were announced, Trump's victory was pronounced in front of that joint session of the House and the Senate. Look, this is how it is supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to work. This January 6th event is supposed to be boring and ceremonial. In fact, prior to January 6, 2021, no one really even paid attention to this event. It's a wonky constitutional duty for Congress that has for decades been pretty uneventful. Yes, of course, lawmakers have challenged slates of electors in the past, but in the end, the presidential victories, as they were decided by the people on Election Day, have always won out. And yes, the vice president is required to oversee this process. Win or lose, it is the vice president's job to stand there and make this announcement. Just like when Mike Pence oversaw his own loss when he lost with Donald Trump in 2020, and just like Al Gore had to oversee his loss to George W. Bush. Now, the next event will be Trump's inauguration on January 20th.